Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is All in the Charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You got click the bell icon for notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and TradingView. It is one word, Crypto Bull God. It's always it's always nice to come into the that came out of my mouth wrong. It's always nice to start the live stream off with some comments here. Josh, let's fucking go on H-bar. So we're definitely going to take a look at H-bar. I have that chart popped up. I hope everyone had a nice weekend. It's a good feeling. I had tweeted out yesterday that Sunday was rolling around, and I was like, man, I can't wait to get back to the live stream because, I did not live stream on Friday. It's 2 Fridays in a row I didn't live stream. Quite honestly, I took the opportunity, a little bit of a reprieve and breather. I've had a lot of stuff going on, so I took the opportunity just to much needed break, just to relax a little bit. So didn't live stream on Friday, but was feeling it on Sunday in terms of just getting excited to get back at it. It feels nice to do something in life that you're passionate about and that you look forward to. So hopefully everyone has that sort of avenue in their life. Thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. Would greatly appreciate the support. Are you new to the channel? Are you recurring, coming back for the live stream? I would love to know in the comments. I would love to know who's tuning in. Not a lot. I feel like we've been saying this for weeks, right, guys? Not a lot of excitement going on in the market. But as I've been alluding to, the low level of volatility, the historic low level of volatility, lends itself on top of many other views that we've taken a look at that I believe there is going to be a very strong, impulsive, bullish move up sooner rather than later. Again, I've been in this space for too long. I can think of many days, many times, and I can actually remember where I was during those events. I can remember times where the market got stagnant and then we just saw a large, swift, monumental move, either short-lived or extensive. But I've been here for too long to know that, and that is my general sense based on everything I've been sharing. Now, guys, I wanted to, and I'll reiterate this during the live stream at some point once we start getting more people on, but I wanted to I wanted to start off the live stream by expressing my excitement, my enthusiasm for a live stream we're going to be doing on Wednesday. So for the second consecutive month, we're going to have a guest speaker on the live stream. I'm going to hand it over to him and allow him to walk us through some views he's looking at and how he's assessing the market. A drum roll, everybody. A lot of you hopefully know who Kush is. I've been messaging him on Twitter in terms of what content we're going to take a look at on Wednesday, but I'm really excited to have him on. Really nice guy. He's put out some Twitter spaces in the past. I'll have to ask him about that. He hasn't done any in a little bit. Probably just life has been busy, but he's done some Twitter spaces in the past that I've participated in. We definitely have some back and forth on Twitter. And I actually found out that apparently he's been following my channel for some time. Goes by a different name on the YouTubes. So maybe I'll bring that up on Wednesday. But really excited to have him on. Really nice guy. And a really logical, level-headed person. So very interested to kind of turn the microphone over to him, similar to what I did when Tony was on the live stream last month, and just have a different perspective, have somebody else's view in terms of things they're looking at. And I'm sure he'll look at some value-added views that we haven't looked at on this chart, and he'll also share some tidbits of information from his vantage point in terms of how he's looking at the market. So very excited to have Kush on here. Check him out. Give him a follow if you're not already on Twitter. There is his Twitter handle. Okay. What's up, Track? Glad to see you in here. Make sure to give him a follow if you're not already. That will be Wednesday, so I'll make sure to reiterate that tomorrow, but very excited to have him on the live stream. So Wanted to make sure to make that announcement. In terms of charts, we're going to take a look at. I have a couple Bitcoin charts up. Wanted to take a look at something else I tweeted out yesterday. Wanted to take a look at something interesting on the Total 3 and Total 2 chart that I alluded to in a tweet earlier this past weekend. We're going to take a look at H-bar, having some significant movements up. Could this be the beginning of the move that ultimately gets us up to that near or to that top 20 spot? Certainly a possibility. We're going to take a look at the correction that has been going on in Caspa. Nothing unhealthy there, but there's certainly been a correction taking place. We don't need to take a look at Alchemy Pay. Nothing. I was seeing if there was going to be a breakout. And probably a few other charts as well. And then we'll probably have some time for TA Q&A. So with that being said, let's get into it. Market in general here. I'll probably take a look at some of the traditional market indices to see how they look, because I can see, especially on NASDAQ, we had a strong reaction on price today. Yeah, you can see H-bar is the leader on my main crypto view chart here. So we're definitely going to take a look at H-bar. Now, a couple things to point out. Now, this is the Bitcoin 12-hour chart. A couple things to point out. We're going to speak to actually the price indicators first. A lot of this downward momentum in the RSI has been broken. We pierced above it, and now we're consolidating. I'm expecting another impulsive wave movement up. We'll have to be patient and see if that pans out. If we take a look at the MACD, last time I looked at this today, I hadn't been as close to the charts, guys, today. I've just been very busy. Looking at the MACD, we're well above zero. We've kind of flattened out here. Look at how flat we are on this MACD at the moment. So what the MACD is telling us right now, momentum has sort of faded a bit, and the chart is deciding which way it wants to go, right? Not surprising, we're having a problem pushing above and staying above 29,600. We've spoken about this area. If we take a look at this zone, remember, I did away with the golden zone, but this was the golden zone here between 29,600 and 28,200. This is the main area I was expecting Bitcoin to consolidate in once we lost our 50 simple moving average on the 12-hour. Sure as shit, that's what we've done. We've stayed above the 200, which is great. We're trying to make a move above. Really what's going on in this chart, if you had to create a story, and again, you guys know if you've been here for a while, the historical significance on the 12-hour chart that I always bring up. Really what's happening is price is trying to get above and stay above the 50 simple moving average. Because we've been below it, it's going to act as resistance. And we also have another area of price confluence here at 29,600. So there's really two main areas of price confluence that we're trying to push above and get above. Once we have some conviction that we start closing up here, I've already signaled on Twitter, guys, my belief, and it's really like this 31,800, 31,500 level. But once you start to see Bitcoin make a move up, I want you to remember me saying this. Once you see Bitcoin make its move up and you see it at 31,000, that's the moment where I think we're going to start making that impulsive wave movement that I've spoken to, that's going to take us up to that $35,500 to $43,000 area. Once we start getting up into this region again, we've just hit this region too many times. Anytime you constantly keep hitting an area of resistance, it weakens. Just like as you continue to hit support, it also weakens. So yes, the $31,000, $32,000 area, yes, it's a strong area of price confluence and resistance. But we've come up here once, twice, thrice, quadruple, quintuple. Is that the right word? Like 5-6 times. We push up here again. My belief is that is going to be the move that is going to ultimately take us well above where we're at right now. So just remain patient. On the 1 day, a couple things I wanted to point out on the daily chart. There isn't really too much new to point out on the weekly, but on the daily, something I wanted to point out. Not only have we gotten above this descending resistance, of course, you could also do this. You could certainly do that. You could redraw it as that, which I actually think I'd prefer to do because we're still in some level of downward resistance. So I'm actually going to draw it like that because, it's valid to draw it like this, right? We had downward resistance, we broke it, we're sort of above it. But as we have emerging price data, you can certainly change your viewpoint that we still have this downward resistance, right? Fair to say. But the other thing I wanted to point out to you is, as price has remained, you can see what price is doing here. I wanted to point out the fact that as we've been relatively flat with price, just consolidating, chippy choppy going sideways, notice that there is strength building in the relative strength index, okay? We have the RSI increasing in value. We were all the way down here at 42, and now we're all the way up here at 48, okay? So we've had a 15% increase in the relative strength index as price over that time period has remained literally flat, okay? Yeah, we've literally remained flat. We've actually gone maybe down a little bit, but we've remained flat. So strength is starting to, as boring as it seems, what I'm trying to point your attention to is the fact that there is strength building in the price, okay? So it is something that we want to be mindful of and pay attention to, that no matter how boring this market is, you need to remain privy to what is going on in the charts, else you will be left behind. You can also see that there is some strength coming in on the MACD as well. Now, a couple different views I wanted to take a look at on the total 3 and total 2. Let's take a look at the total 2. Now, I had commented I need to see price on the total altcoin market cap make approximately a 12.5% move, and sooner rather than later. Why do I say that? Now, we've looked at the Gaussian channel on the Bitcoin chart. We really haven't looked at the Gaussian channel on any other projects. We haven't looked at it on Ethereum, and I wanted to look at it actually before the live stream. I did want to look at Ethereum, but I didn't have a chance. We haven't looked at it on the total market cap like this, but you can see this is actually on a 5-day chart. And on the 5-day chart, the Gaussian view, what I would point out to you is typically when we flipped, and you can see back here, when we flipped from red to green and we had a significant move, now we want red. We want the green here, had a little bit of a fake out with this beer virus drop, but as soon as we flipped green again, we had strong momentum. But notice, once we flip, the other thing to keep in mind is, once we flip from red to green on the Gaussian channel, the other thing is price tends to stay above. You see how we don't like to, we can wick into the green zone of the Gaussian channel, but we don't get candle body closes on this 5-day chart into this area, okay? Same thing here, look. When we flip from red to green, we stayed above it, right? No candle body closes in the green. And once we did start to get candle body closes in the green, you can see what happened, right? What ensued. Now we have flipped green. So why do I want to see a 12.5% move roughly in the altcoin market? A 12.5% move, and this would have been as of yesterday when I made that comment, a 12.5% move, you can see, takes us right on the top of the Gaussian channel. So I want to see an impulsive wave movement up in altcoins to get us up in this area to be above this Gaussian channel line, right? The Gaussian channel line can move up like this, but we want price action to be up there, okay? That's where we want price action to be, up here, okay? That's what we want to see. The more that we hang out in this area, okay, the more weakness that is expressed in price on the total altcoin market cap, and we sort of stay in this green zone and we start to go below the median line, this green zone is going to turn red. That is what's going to happen, and that would not be good for us, okay? That's why I really want to get out of this Gaussian channel and not just make the 12.5% move in total altcoins to get above the Gaussian channel, but history tells us it's on our side, it's in our favor, that once we make that move, we should stay up in this area, not re-enter the Gaussian channel until we start to see a more significant correction in the market. That's something I want you to watch for. Now, if we go to the total 3, understand as we evaluate this, what are we looking at here? This is the exact same view that we just looked at, except we're removing Ethereum, okay? So it's all of the other altcoins. It's the other ones in the top 10. It's your Binance, your XRP, your Solana, your Doge. It's also your H-bars, your Harmony Ones, Alchemy Pays. It's everything else, okay? So with that being said, because you're removing the predominant market cap, the predominant altcoin in that space, which eats up most of the market share of the altcoins, okay, I would say it's probably roughly 50% off the top of my head. I don't know what the right figure is, but maybe it's 50% or 40%. you're going to have a lot more of a volatile chart, okay? But we can still see once we flip green, it's the same sort of story. Once we go from red to green, and actually there's a little bit less history here, but once this last movement up here, you can see we stayed above it. Look, we wicked here and never got closed back into it once we changed to green. But once we re-entered it with candle bodies on the 5-day, that's when we had our significant correction. This thing hasn't even flipped green yet, and what I don't like to see is we're below this median red line right here, okay? We're below the median red line. So we need to see some sort of a significant push up in price. Ultimately, what would leave us feeling really good is if in the altcoin market, when you remove Ethereum from current levels, I really want to see a move up of around 14%. Okay, 14%. Now again, because this is a more volatile chart, this thing has the tendencies to have more wild swings to the up and down side. So I would not be shocked if by the month of September, say, we start getting some movements up here going into September and even October. This thing starts to flip green in, say September, mid to late September, and we start riding up, similar to here. So something else to keep an eye on, but this is an interesting view because we haven't taken a look at the Gaussian channel on anything, like I said, outside of Bitcoin. Now let's take a look at, and feel free to drop any TA questions that you have in the comments. Let's take a look at HBAR, because HBAR, I just put out a video. If you haven't checked it out, go to my YouTube videos. It's a published TA video. The name of that video, if you go to my channel, actually, I'll help you out real quick. Let's see. I just published this on August 8th, and it says top 20 now, Hedera HBAR. Give that video a look. One of the price points that I specifically spoke to on here was 6.2 cents. I really wanted to see 6.2 cents convincingly get reclaimed. Right now, we're making a strong argument that we're going to close at or above 6.2 cents. But this is by the way, this is a 3-day view, but we still have 2 more days on this thing, okay? If we get a wick that's under 6.2 cents and if we get a wick that's under this level, this red area of resistance is still resistance. I need to see us push up here towards 6.2 or above. That is the first major area of price confluence I want to see us get above. Then ultimately, yeah, there's 8.4 and there's this lower high here, but I want to push up above 10.8 cents. 10.8 cents is a major area that I spoke to in my TA video. If we look at the price indicators, okay, we can see, this is awesome. We can see on the 3-day view here, look at this, similar comments. We're talking about Bitcoin. Remember how Bitcoin's a little bit different because price is decreasing here, but you could see general concept. Look, the RSI just continues building in strength. On the 3-day, the MACD is bullish. We're above 0, our trigger line, and we're bullish. Stochastic RSI is bullish. We have a bullish cross. We're at 95 over 90. Now, one thing I would caution you on, keep in mind, H-Barbarians, relative strength indices can remain overextended and oversold for extended periods of time. But in this case, when an RSI becomes overextended, it's still a caution flag, okay? We're sitting at 67, which is not overextended historically on the 3-day. But I want you to be mindful, once we start popping our head above 70 on the 3-day RSI, at some point, more than likely, we'll be due for some sort of a healthy pullback, more than likely. Keep in mind, the RSI could pop all the way up to 80, and we could see some declining RSI like this. Price, by the way, under that scenario, we could, because we've done this before on this chart and on many other charts, even though the RSI might do something like this over the course of time here, we could still continue popping up in price, but this declining RSI would be a warning signal that we'd probably see some form of a deeper correction before, again, moving back up. So it wouldn't shock me if we continue to move up, okay, on HBAR, and we try to break, we get up towards 8 cents or 10 or 12 cents, it wouldn't shock me. But really keep an eye on that RSI on the 3-day, because that should give us a warning flag, a caution flag that we're a little overextended and we're probably due for just a healthy pullback, because we need healthy pullbacks, right? All about the higher highs and higher lows. The most healthy thing you could see on this chart, before we get off H-bar, the most healthy thing you could see in this chart, anyone want to take a guess actually? If I've educated my audience enough, I think you should be able to tell what I'm about to say. You guys should know what I'm going to say, actually. So the most bullish thing that we'd want to see on this chart, we got a low here. We got a higher low here. We got a high here. Now we want to come up here and create a higher high, right? Higher highs and higher lows are the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. Thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. Appreciate the support. So really what we want to do in price is break above 10 cents. I mean, this is essentially 10 cents, okay? So let's start pushing above 10 cents, because then we're still creating those higher highs and higher lows. That's really giving us increased conviction that as much as I can look you in the face, or at least virtually because I can't see any of you, but you can look in my face. As much as I can look you in the face and have conviction that we are in the midst of an absolute trend reversal to the upside, the only thing that's going to give us conviction in terms of that increasingly being more likely is if the data itself continues to tell us that. And the way that the data will increasingly convince us that we're having a bullish turnaround in price is by creating higher highs and higher lows, right? You can be as an emotional, a retail investor as you want. You can love this project like I do. That's great. You can love the project. But the thing unemotionally that is going to convince us increasingly that we're seeing a true trend reversal are higher highs and higher lows. Let's get above 10 cents. But I'll tell you what, guys, great impulsive move up here. It's awesome to look in my portfolio and see, this is down 1%, this is up 2%. H-bar's up 15%. Well, motherfuckers. Proud to be an H-barbarian. Caspa having a little bit of a deeper pullback than what I was anticipating, but there still isn't anything alarming about this. We're just having a little bit of a deeper pullback than I had anticipated, but we're still right around the prior all-time highs that we set in April. I view this as nothing more as a little bit of profit taking, healthy consolidation, and hopefully weak hands don't get weeded out here, because this to me is still a healthy pullback. You can see this is a 6-hour chart. This is on a lower time frame here. Sorry, I got a little Instacart order coming. This is on a 6-hour smaller time frame here, and what I'm depicting here is we're just in a falling channel here. This is a bearish falling channel, right? Where will this end? My logical guess at this point, now that we've broken below 4.3 cents, I have a major area of price confluence right around 3.7 cents. Okay, we keep things stupid simple on this channel. 3.7 cents. So wouldn't surprise me to see one final area, like a wick, some sort of price consolidation at 3.7 cents and then continuing to move up. If we go to the 4-hour, you can see that in our move up here, once we had our golden cross and we had all the moving averages going in the direction that we want, the 10 above the 20, above the 50, above the 200, you can see once we hit a local top here at about 2.8 cents, we retraced all the way down to the 200 simple moving average, right? Before we continued churning up towards, 5 cents. So could we see something similar where we come down to this region, the 200 on the 4-hour and the 3.7? I like this area of price confluence. So the next area I'm looking for on Caspa, okay, for everybody here from the Caspa community, drop me a comment if you're from the Caspa community. Would appreciate it. I've very much appreciated that community since researching the project and engaging with others. But the area I would look for at this point, now that we've broken below 4.3 cents decisively, is 3.7 cents. This was a tricky move. Let me tell you why this was a tricky move. If we remove this, one last comment here. The reason this was a tricky move is because we had a bearish, there was a bearish divergence on the RSI I had pointed out. But the reason this was still tricky was, yes, we didn't push above the 10 simple moving average. You can even see this acted as resistance on the daily. But we had a bullish engulfing candle here. I'm pretty sure. Was this what did we open here? 0.4267, and we closed here at, oh yeah, this is 4.2, and this was 4.6. Yeah, so we had a bullish engulfing candle, which leaned me in the camp that we were going to continue moving higher even if we eventually rolled over and had a correction. But no, we're getting our correction right now. So again, 3.7 cents. You could even on a daily take a look at this 50 simple moving average. When we're above moving averages, when we retrace, they tend to act as support. So another area. Now keep in mind the 50, this is on a daily. The 50 simple moving average is sitting at 3.45 cents, but this is continuing to slowly move up here. Okay, so at some point this is going to converge with this 3.7 cents. 3.7 cents to me is a major zone of price confluence that I'm going to want to see hold. And it looks like you could even say on the daily here 3.6. Anywhere between 3.7 to 3.6. What's up, Rashid? Glad to see you in the live stream, my friend. See if my order was delivered. Definitely don't want refrigerated items sitting outside my door. That would suck tremendously. Apologies, everybody. Your order was delivered. My community, my fellow crypto maniacs. Uno minuto. Groceries and refrigerator. Uno minuto. Gracias, mi amigos y amigas. This is real life. On this live stream, sometimes real life interjects. Had a grocery order. But that's where I am looking for major areas of price confluence. Mark, love Caspa. Glad to hear that. Black oil. You're welcome, my friend. Just to reiterate, Greg, I don't know who the hell you are, but I think you recall that a friend who I haven't seen in a long time, his name was Greg and his nickname was Black Oil. Black Oil comes from the X-Files. For those of you who are X-Files fans, I'm dating myself a little bit. I don't give a shit. I was a huge X-Files fan growing up, really into aliens. I was always into aliens and UFOs. I wrote an entire English paper on UFOs and aliens, crop circles and all that shit. The Blue Book, the men in the black suits. All right, guys, let's take a look. Something else that I preach on this channel quite a bit is to assess the health of traditional markets. And I think Kush... Oh, by the way, for everyone new tuning in, special announcement. I hit this off at the top of the live stream. This gentleman, whose TA I respect very much, he will be joining as a special guest on Wednesday. And if you're not giving him a follow, this is his Twitter handle. I highly suggest it. He's logical. He's authentic. Really kind person. I've had the chance to chat with him live. I'll actually be chatting with him a little bit later. Just to reiterate what the general blueprint is for Wednesday on things we're going to talk about. But yeah, great guy. He's going to be on Wednesday. He's a special guest on Wednesday. So I'll tweet something out then. But and I'll make sure to... oh, Kush is on. What's up, brother? So make sure that you tune in. But I will make sure to reiterate that tomorrow. So, all right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to give a thumbs up to that. Yeah, very excited to have you on, brother. Let's take a look at the S&P. Like I had said, one of the things that I routinely do share on this channel is that we we need traditional markets to be doing well. And the reason for that is because the more that traditional markets do well and there's confidence that is instilled within investors, it's going to increasingly be a risk-on environment. And the more of a risk-on environment, the more risk-on of an environment that it is, that bodes very well for crypto. There is no other market that will do as well as cryptocurrencies. Okay, just as when it is a risk-off environment, there is no market that will correct harder that we found out than cryptocurrencies. But in a risk-on environment, crypto is going to far outpace any returns you're going to see in traditional markets. Let's take a look at what we're seeing here. So we're going to turn this red for resistance. This is on a monthly, although what I'd like to do is I'd like to expand price action into a 2-week. So look, we got a heavy rejection here. See the volume? See the volume profile down here? The candlestick got a nice red, not really nice, but got a thick red candle body that's overshadowing the prior candlestick. This is a bearish engulfing candle on the 2-week, okay? Next candlestick here won't print until the 28th. So we have this candlestick here that we're printing right now on the 2-week chart for the S&P. This is comprising this week's worth of price action as well as next week's worth of price action. Remember, I had indicated that I was expecting over the course of the next several weeks, I was leaning towards there being a healthy correction in the market. We even took a look at a historical perspective that when we've been like 3% away, 3.75% away from prior all-time highs, how many times have we created a new all-time high versus not? The odds are in our favor that we're going to be creating new all-time highs sooner rather than later in the S&P and the other major indices. But yeah, would not be shocked at all to see prices even come down as low as 43.30. 44.89 is where we're at right now. Now, if we did come down on the S&P that far, I'd be curious to hear Kush's thoughts on this on Wednesday if he decides to cover this. We're only talking about a 3.5%, 3.6% move down. Again, why am I saying this area? Well, guys, this was the major area we were talking about forever, right? This is this 43.20 area. I was talking about 43.20 on the S&P literally since the start of the year, okay? We finally cleared it. So it wouldn't surprise me to come back and backtest this area right in here before moving up and punching above the $4,600 area. So S&P to me looks fine. We're just getting some level of a healthy pullback here. MACD looks good. RSI is actually really healthy. We're at 61. We're not overextended. It's bullish. A reading of 61 on the RSI is bullish, but it's not overextended. Once you start getting above 70, that's where you want to be a little bit cautious. Oh, I have an announcement. Or maybe Jorge here would like to share it. Jorge, welcome into the live stream. Glad to see you back. Jorge officially got accepted to nursing school. Everybody give that motherfucker a round of applause. He got accepted into nursing school. I read his piece that he had out. He said that, because I'm hooked up with him on Instagram, he said 8 months he wasn't going to post anything on Instagram until he got into nursing school. So congratulations, my friend. That is awesome. There is no better thing in life that I personally admire than somebody who works hard and goes after what they're passionate about. So I think that is fucking awesome. Yes, everybody congratulate Jorge. Guy's working his ass off. What else we got here? Glad everyone's looking forward to Kush joining. Thank you, Kush. Appreciate the compliment. You agree it's a consolidation? Yeah, guys, keep in mind as we're moving up in price, look at how strong. Let's just appreciate for a moment this wick, from this green candlestick, we had nothing but upside for 21%. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 10 consecutive 2-week green candlesticks, guys. That can't go up forever. We need to have healthy pullbacks. It's all about the higher highs and higher lows. So you can have your prominent influencers out there. I'm not going to name names. You can have your prominent influencers out there spelling the end of the world. I've seen the clickbait fear come back, the clickbait fear porn come back on YouTube. Now we're talking about 15,000 Bitcoin, right? We got away from the 5,000 and 10,000 calls. Now the guy that was out there calling for $5,000 or $10,000 Bitcoin, I've seen the clickbait fear porn for $15,000 Bitcoin. Again, anything is possible in this market, but the probabilities are strongly in our favor. Whether we spend another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks consolidating, we're going to see continued movements to the upside. Do not give in to an emotional viewpoint, whether it's to the upside or the downside. This is nothing but healthy consolidation. Real quick, we're not going to look at the Dow. I did want to look at the NASDAQ because I saw we were up over 1%, looked like 1.2%. Let's see what's going on there. Of course, the NASDAQ was really leading the charge there for a while. Looks like this is on a 2-week as well. Again, just appreciate the fact, look at all of these green candlesticks, and now we're having a red body come in, right? No question this is a bearish engulfing candle, which is not bullish. But the fact that we haven't lost market structure here, we haven't rolled over and started to go significantly lower and started losing these moving averages, right? So there isn't anything worrisome here for me. Price indicators look good. Let's quick go to a weekly. Okay, we're starting to get a cross on the MACD. Now, I'd like to avoid a negative cross on the MACD. There is no one price indicator that's going to tell you the direction of price. But if we go back in time, we had a negative cross on the MACD here, a little bit of consolidation. Of course, this was a major correction. But again, when you have the MACD cross down negative and you start to see the histogram turn red, it is a caution flag. And this is on the weekly for the NASDAQ. So I'd like to try to avoid that. You know, realistically, if we continue to correct here and we see a little bit of a light red, we get a slight cross, we could very still possibly flatten out pretty quickly and still continue to curl up. But it is something to be mindful of. The other thing to look at on the weekly on the NASDAQ is momentum is starting to run dry, right? Look at the stochastic RSI. This is an indicator to us telling us that momentum is starting to stall out on the NASDAQ. We've had a negative cross, not just a negative cross on the stochastic RSI, we're below the 20 trigger line. I really want to see this stochastic. One of the things I'm going to be looking for is this stochastic RSI to flatten itself out and get that bullish cross above 20. As far as the RSI, it looks healthy. It's at 64. So I think this, between the stochastic RSI and the MACD, those are the two things I'm going to be looking at on the NASDAQ to have them sort of clear up over the coming handful of weeks here going into September. Oh, no. Oh, let's see what we got here. Hey, what's up, Ugos? Glad to see you in here. Jorge, I sold all of my casino coin right before it pumped hard, like 60%, and sold all my MBD financials right before. Well, you know what? You win some, you lose some. You know what I mean? But hopefully those trades, whatever trades you're doing where you missed out on a pump, it should represent, as I always say, you guys do whatever you need to. I'm not your financial advisor. I don't offer any financial advice. I never have and never will. But trading, when you're doing those sorts of trades, it should represent a very small percentage of your portfolio, in my opinion. I've said to you guys before, even though I've been in this market for years, the majority of my portfolio, most of my portfolio, a heavy amount of my portfolio are investments, right? And I continue to accumulate. Trading, like active trading and doing swing trade plays and all that stuff, I don't do a lot of that. It's not a large. I have fun with it, you know, and I rotate positions and make trades and stuff, but it's not a large percentage of my portfolio. I'm remaining patient with my investments. All right, what questions do you guys have for me? I wasn't really going to cover anything else. The only thing I thought of, we haven't covered in a while. What's up, KR? The only thing I haven't covered in a while is the DXY. Could cover that real quick if there aren't any questions. I'll take a question or two, kind of looking at what time it is. I got to tell you, work has been... work is keeping me busy. Trying to put out more content on the YouTube channel. And everybody has stuff going on in their personal life, just personal life stuff as well. So feeling the busyness lately. But I'd rather feel busy and productive than be twiddling my thumbs, right? There's good, think of it this way, guys. There's good stress and bad stress. I would say most of my stress is good stress. I have some not so healthy stress, but for the most part, it is good stress. You can still see that this is a bear pennant here. Target is still in play. We've kind of spoken about this before, but just to reiterate for everyone on the DXY, this orange zone is my main target for the DXY to bottom at, anywhere between 95 and 89. I think it'll be hard. I think what is more likely is I don't know if we'll go as low as 89, but I could see us going down to the 91, 92 area. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how low we get in the dollar index, but I certainly think anything in this zone is a strong possibility given the bearish price action that we're seeing. Is there anything else on the indicators? Sorry about that. Is there anything else on the price indicators? Let's go to a smaller time frame here. Let's get this. To see if I was seeing. I don't really see anything else. Let's go to a higher time frame. No, let's go to a monthly view. Just trying to see if I can see any observations in the chart that are worth sharing with you guys. Now you can see the RSI here. I mean, even on the monthly, we were topping out here. And again, keep in mind, anytime you're looking at the relative strength index, now from chart to chart, it's going to vary in terms of historic areas of really topping out. Every chart can be unique in that manner. A general principle, though, on the relative strength index is when we start getting above 70, which is why the line is dotted here. When we start getting above 70, that is when when you would consider on the relative strength index that we're getting a little overbought. It's not a sign that we're going to have an immediate pullback, but it's at least, it's a caution flag, right? That we could see a correction at some point. And you can see on the monthly, we pulled all the way up to nearly 80 and then had our correction. So, yeah, not seeing anything that I would point out. Yeah, nothing on the DXY that we haven't spoken about before. Do you need a good thumbnail designer like Mr. Beast? I'm doing the best I can on those thumbnail designs. I will tell you guys, sometimes I have fun creating thumbnails, but sometimes it's like I don't even want to waste my time creating thumbnails. I just want to do the content. The reality is a thumbnail is an advertisement for your content. So you do need something that sticks out. I'm very cognizant that it's not clickbaity. I hate clickbait. But it does need something that it's a form of marketing material. It has to grab your attention. So I don't know. It's really not my thing. I really honestly wish I wouldn't have to spend time on thumbnails. I'd rather just spend my time creating the content and engaging with you guys. But I do my own thumbnails for now. So, do you ever get scared somebody might run up on you and try to jack you for your crypto? Nah, I'm not really. Fun story real quick before we get back to the charts here. So I will share with you what happened to me last week for those that made notice of this. Last week, I think it was on Tuesday. Pretty sure it was on Tuesday. I left a audio message on Twitter for those that follow me. And I said, guys, God is really testing me today. Don't know that I'm going to be able to, do the live stream today. So earlier in the day, I had an appointment. That appointment didn't really go the way I wanted it to. So I had that appointment. Wasn't too thrilled afterwards. Left the appointment. And what happened was my car that treats me so well, we had excessive heat warnings, by the way, in South Florida. My car overheated. And it was right after I had taken the exit ramp off of the highway. I put my four ways on in the middle of a 3-lane lane to take a left at a light. I was right in the middle. I put some cones up, like way in front of the car, and I was just standing there. And drivers in Florida, I mean, there's a lot of assholes on the road. There were some nice people that offered to help, but I'm just standing there, like looking at these cars, just trying to figure out the idea that they needed to go around me. Waited like an hour till my mechanic got there. And so the point is, no, I can hold my own. I don't. It's hard for me to be. It takes a lot for me to get intimidated. But it turns out what had happened was I'm so on top of my car maintenance. I love my car. What had happened, my mechanic discovered there was a hose underneath that must have gotten severed as I was driving on the highway. Something kicked up and like severed the hose. And my coolant it was like an immediate disbursement of all of my coolant. So that's why my car overheated. So it was not a fun time last Tuesday. I'm pretty sure that was Tuesday. It was a pretty rough day last week. There was a lot going on that day. So that's why I was not present. What else we got here? My answer to that would be what's crypto? What's crypto? What's a Bitcoin? What's a Bitcoin? I don't know what a Bitcoin is. I did joke with someone recently. I have been in talks about going overseas somewhere. And this country is not the most safe place. So I'm not even like really thrilled about going there. If I go there, it's probably going to be for like 2 days. But I'm not really thrilled about going there. But I am this white dude showing up in this country and I'm going to stick out. And so one of the things I said to this person is I am not wearing anything. There is not going to be anything on me, even this. You see this? No. I'm not advertising anything that I know what crypto is. I don't fucking know what is a crypto? It's that thing you can't see, and I don't know. I think I've heard of it. Is it like money? I don't know. Yeah, I would play stupid if I was going overseas. I am not a fool. Let me see if there's anything else in the charts. If there isn't anything that grabs my attention, then I think we're going to sign off. H-bar is staying strong. Harmony, will you please pick up over 1.2 cents? Harmony won. God, Digibyte is it's like a soda bottle. That thing is going back and forth between that 0.0077 and 0.0082. It's just bipolar. Crypto AI. Anything there? No, there isn't really anything sticking out, guys. I don't really have any other price action to go over with you guys. Just, guys, keep in mind, there are going to be many... yes, I will take a look at one charting question. We're going to quickly take a look at Mana. There are going to be plenty of exciting days ahead. I don't make any promises on this. I don't like to guarantee or promise. That is actually something I'm going to promise you. This year, we're going to have many exciting live streams. It's just, like I said on Twitter, this unquestionably, after being invested in this market for 5.5 years, this is the most boring this market has ever been from a price action standpoint. It has been. It's just been, it's been really boring. But that does not historically last for very long, and we are at historic levels of low volatility. Let us quickly take a look at one component of the holy crypto trinity. Let's take a look at Mana, Decentraland. And I haven't taken a look at this chart in a little while. We got a lot of, you know what? I actually think this chart might be better. I feel like this might be a better chart. Thank you for everyone new tuning in. I'd appreciate some support if you want to hit that thumbs up. Okay, so this is on a 3-day. Stochastic RSI is like, there's no momentum. This thing needs to pick up and cross above 20. RSI is oversold. We're at 38. MACD is trying to regain its footing. You can see momentum is starting to slow down here. MACD is sort of flattened out. We want to see this thing cross. We want to see it cross up. Okay, so we need a lot of these price indicators to start picking up momentum. Momentum has dried out. And you can actually see price action is king. You can tell in price too. Look at these candlesticks. This is like very dull price action, right? But what I would point out to you, even though price action is dull, first off, I identified a major green zone of price confluence that we're sitting in right now. I still view this as a huge opportunity to get in if you're not in Mana, or if you're looking, like for me, even though I have a position in Mana, I'll use this as an example. If prices are remaining suppressed for lower periods of time than I otherwise thought would exist, if you have some capital and you want to, build up your position even more, in my opinion, this is the opportunity. But the main thing is, the main question you have to ask yourself when you're looking at a chart like this, similar to the conversation we had about H-bar, are the basic building blocks on this chart like Legos? They're like Legos. Are the basic building blocks starting to appear within the chart? Keep it stupid simple. Are we starting to see higher highs and higher lows? Well, we had a low here. We did have a higher low here, okay, higher low. We have a high here, so it's just a matter of breaking the descending resistance, these two areas, and now starting to push above 85 cents. We need to see some momentum come in and push above 85 cents. So right now, I'm sorry, who asked, was this, no, it wasn't Greg, it was, Rashid. Rashid, what I would say to you is, Mana is representatory of what a lot of altcoins look like right now in terms of just being boring and being stagnant. But again, given the view that I have, that I've been sharing with you guys in terms of where we're at in the market, this, never financial advice, this is the opportunity when we're at suppressed levels right now. You want to continue accumulating, right? Because when we do see a strong move up like this, okay, we went from 29 cents to 85 cents in a matter of, let's just use this price point. We went from 29 cents to 70 cents in a matter of 5 weeks. Okay, that is how quickly this market moves. And I want to constantly remind everyone about that. If you know what you're doing, this is the time to be buying. You don't want to buy into green like this. You don't want to buy into the uptrend. You want to buy into price action like this as we're consolidating and you're formulating a hypothesis that we're due for a likely impulsive wave movement up, okay? That is when you want to be accumulating. You don't want to chase. You don't want to chase the trend. That's the worst thing you can do. Black oil, I'm calling it a day. We've been on the live stream for over 50 minutes. Come back with your TA questions tomorrow. We did look at Fetch AI recently, by the way, brother. But come back tomorrow, and I promise you we will take a look at it. I will remember that you asked that question. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. But I'm going to sign off. I'm going to make myself a little dinner. Guys, appreciate everyone who tuned in. Make sure to come back tomorrow. Again, Kush will be on the live stream as a special guest on Wednesday. Going to hand shit over to him and let him kind of share his views on things. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday as well. But I will be back tomorrow. Thank you again for everyone new tuning in. And until next time, spread awareness. And let's all carry the education forward. Take care, everybody. Have a good evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you're at.